Okay, Irreversible is a movie that's very well lauded for the way that it's shot in its hyper-stylistic format, as well as for its sheer utter brutality. And this movie also is told in reverse. So the first sequence you see, the end of that is actually the end of the movie. And since it ends in this weird kind of, okay, what? The rest of the movie kind of fills in the gaps and makes the main crux of the film seem even more disturbing. So they begin with people essentially going into a very misogynistic gay bar, trying to find a very specific guy called the tapeworm. Let's just say he gets his just desserts by getting his face repeatedly smashed in with a fire extinguisher. This scene has... I've seen this in other movies where people smash his face in the fire extinguisher. This one, it's like hit. Then there's that moment of pause where the other person's actually thinking about it and doing it again. And again. And again. It's that pause that really heightens it. And then you figure out, so why'd they go in here and start whooping the crap out of people? You find that that person actually raped a woman. And this isn't like a basic run-of-the-mill. This is a very disturbing sort of rape. Now in other movies when they do these sorts of things, there's always that, you know, people are talking dirty and they're, oh, I'm going to kill you. This one, since it's actually less graphic, what you pretty much have is the guy's dialogue as he's going through it. Like, he's more or less narrating what he's doing, as opposed to it being, you know, a lot more visual. This has a lot more of that psychological visceralness to it. And as the movie plays out more and more, that scene of rape becomes slightly more heinous, and the idea behind it is that time destroys everything. If this movie were to have been told from the beginning all the way towards the end, it would have just kind of had that like rape revenge feel to it. This one, you begin with the revenge, and then you find out why, and then it takes you to, you know, the true motive behind why the revenge was so brutal. This movie also has lots of bizarre camera cuts, and uses almost subsonic tones every now and then to really kind of drive in this disorientated feel. It'd be like this camera would be in a gyroscope and I would just spin it every now and then. There are scenes where it's just flowing all over the place. If you can get past the motion sickness from that, you're pretty well set. That's a lot in the opening. They do it a little bit towards the end too, but not as much as what they do in the first like 20-minute segment. They also use lots of different sorts of tones that are designed to essentially elicit nausea. So you've got a bizarre hertz of music going on with a spinning camera to kind of induce nausea. Does a really good job. I'm glad I saw this on a small screen. In a theater, this probably would have been over the top, just in the way that was done to really set a level of unnervingness and nausea into the crowd. All this is a very beautifully done movie. It's also a very disturbing movie. Not like, you know, a Serbian film disturbing, but it's pretty much up there. Probably the fact that the acting is done beautifully well. Dialogue, I like most is improvised, because the person who did it had 3 pages to make an hour-and-a-half long movie. You know, being told in reverse really does heighten it, because you kind of go from a, wait, what? And then there's filling in the gaps. You know, it makes revenge that much more justifiable, but for lack of a better term, justifiable. And it also makes the middle of the movie, where the actual rape is done, that much more heinous at the very end of the movie when you realize what actually could have happened. So, disturbing, but a very well done movie.